All right, I believe we are live talking about UFC Vegas 27 best bets. We're doing a full card breakdown and some of our betting picks. Got a lot of things to talk about. Of course, we're going to cover it with some, breakdowns as well with each individual fight, but it is going to be more betting specific. I have a lot of notes that I took on some bets that I think that can really deliver. We'll be talking props, parlays, fights go the distance, fight doesn't go the distance. There's a lot of opportunities here on this card, and the deeper I look into this card, the more excited I get for this weekend, guys. At first, I saw it, I said, hey, this is maybe not the best card, UFC Vegas 27 could have been, but actually there's a lot of good spots. There's some returning names that we haven't seen. Main event's really exciting too. Overall, my excitement for this card from 2-3 days ago to now has amplified. We did lose a fight, the Sarah Alpar fight with what was her name? Lupita Godinez. We lost that fight, unfortunately. Hold on, let me turn this off right here. We'll have the live chat on as well. I'll be checking on my phone because sometimes it does not show up on the screen. What is going on, pay-per-view? Dizzle, how you doing, my guy? Good to see you here watching live. All right, so we're going to get into it. We'll start it off looking at some of the picks. We're going to look at the fights where I think that there's lock matchups. So not your typical order. We're going to go first to the locks of the night. Actually, lock is probably a bad word to use in MMA because what really is a lock when two men fight in a cage? It's as close as we can get to a lock. Guys, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Go for this video, this new series, which we started last week, 100 likes. I believe we're going to do it. Should be a lot of fun. We'll try to chat it up as best we can in the live chat. I'll try to answer it as much as I can. But let's start it off. First fight to talk about of the night. We're going to go through the locks, the high confidence, the picks that I think should deliver without a doubt, and that has to be the first fight of the night as well. Damir Ismagulov versus Rafael Alves. If you watched the prediction video earlier this week, it was Sunday we did it. We talked about Damir. This guy is a prospect to keep an eye on. I think could potentially be a contender. The skill set is definitely there to be high level. Already beat Thiago Moises, who's fighting Islam Makhachev. Honestly, he's sacrificed to Islam. I like Thiago. I think he's good, but Islam's a monster. But let's talk about this matchup. With Ismagulov, you got a technical striker who's very patient, good hands, very good in the punching range, and honestly, he mixes in the low kicks pretty well, which I think is going to open some things up against Alves, who's a pretty solid Thai-style striker. A lot of power, though, which on Damir on the other side, he'll throw some power, of course, as all fighters do, but it's not going to be every punch power, whereas Alves is looking for bombs. Also, really unusual attacks at times, and he does have a decent submission game. Damir Ismagulov is going to pick him apart technically and work towards probably a dominant decision. The bet I like on this one would just be Ismagulov straight lock of the week here, I guess you could say. What is a lock, really? I would say I have 99% confidence in this guy to come through, but of course, Alves could hit him with a head kick and put him to sleep, and unfortunate things happen in cage fighting. Don't think that happens here. Damir Ismagulov, lock of the week. He's a massive favorite, though, as we know. So we're going to be playing him on parlays, and we're going to be playing I think, on every parlay, or at least most of them. Minus 550 favorite. You can find it a little bit better around the minus 530 range at some spots, but hard to find. Don't necessarily love the props because Ismagulov is so good, but he just tends to win decisions. I'm going Ismagulov, one of the locks of the week, my number one lock of the week, but definitely not as much fun with the betting on Ismagulov at the minus 550. And DJ9, I plan to absolutely cash this week. We're coming back with a vengeance. All right, the next guy that I feel is another good lock pickup of the week, if we can consider them locks, but a stronger confidence pick. I have this written down here. Let me get it up. Our boy, Bruno Silva. He's fighting Victor Rodriguez. This matchup here is actually, I think, strongly in the favor of Bruno Silva. I think he was super underestimated. I mean, he destroyed JP Buys and knocked him out. And Buys was a guy who had a good amount of momentum behind him as a prospect, and he was actually a good wrestler too. But that's not an issue with a guy like Bruno Silva, who has good wrestling in his own right, trains alongside Henry Cejudo, at least he used to. Solid kickboxer who's really athletic, power in the hands, and really fast hands. On the other side, Victor Rodriguez, Decent striker who likes to mix up the stances, but just haven't been extremely impressed by what I've seen. Does like that overhand punch out of that orthodox stance, and he will look to clinch up, sometimes using the overhand to clinch up, other times using it to make you think you're clinching, and then he cracks you with a big shot. Not going to work here against Bruno Silva. I think Silva knocks him out here. So a straight bet on Silva obviously is not going to be insane amounts of cash coming your way for just straight betting Silva, but I still think it's worth a bet for Silva here. I think that this is a good play. Minus 335 for Silva to plus 275. I like Silva at the minus 335. I think he's going to deliver. I think he comes out and dominates. I am not going to talk necessarily about the props just yet. That's going to be towards the end when we're finishing up with these locks, because I want to talk about these money picks, these locks of the weeks. I got Bruno Silva, another lock that I think has value and is worth either a straight bet if you're looking to put a lot of money down, or a parlay addition. Another lock of the week that I feel is really worth bringing up to start off this video is going to be our boy, heavyweight division. You're going to know the name as soon as you see it. It's not the most confident lock. It's my least confident lock here. It would truly be a Ben Rothwell win. It's just the matchup here. I mean, Chris Barnett is not that good. He's not really UFC caliber. He's decent. I mean, as a martial artist, he's good. But as a UFC fighter, no. He's 5'9" at heavyweight. He weighs in at the top limit at 265. Honestly, not loving Chris Barnett. I got to ride with Ben Rothwell. I think that Ben Rothwell should dominate Chris Barnett everywhere. I think with striking, he's faster. He has longer reach. He's probably better with his grappling game. Sure, there is a lot of, jiu-jitsu competitions you see being done by his opponent here being Hugly Bear, Chris Barnett, and now Beast Boy. I guess he changed his nickname. But still, to me, I think Ben Rothwell technically a lot better, even though Ben Rothwell is not the most technical fighter. If you watch Chris Barnett fight, it's just not always that technical. It's weird things that shouldn't work in MMA and don't tend to work at the highest level. I mean, he has a pretty nice record, 21-6, but hasn't fought that high level competition. Is on a win streak though. Got to give him some respect for the momentum, but he's almost 35. He's 5'9". He's not beating Ben Rothwell. I got Ben Rothwell. He's a decent pickup. It is heavyweight MMA, so that's why he's my least confident of this lock section of the picks at minus 310, minus 300. Decent money. I don't see Barnett having much offense to really threaten him, and Barnett is not tapping Ben Rothwell. It's not happening. I don't care if Ben Rothwell is 50 years old. I still don't see Chris Barnett in MMA tapping him. Maybe in straight jiu-jitsu, but there's going to be punches being thrown. So Ben Rothwell should dominate, superior hand speed, superior technician, and just so much bigger than his opponent. Now, this part of the video is honestly something I'm more looking forward to. The locks of the week part, they're locks, but what is a lock in MMA? We want to talk about dogs. We want to talk about cashing on some people that don't have, a ton of expectation maybe behind them. I'm going to talk about the dog who I would have the most faith, at least in my opinion, throwing down. And dogs, I'm not going to be including fights with like even money pick'ems. That's not really what I mean by the dog here. Even if they opened up as dogs. Dogs as of right now, and I'm like 99.9% sure the first guy, yes, he's still a dog. Edmund Shabazian versus Jack Hermanson. I agree. Yes, people have said it. Jack has a great ground game. You saw in the last fight, Edmund Shabazian got put on his back. He got tapped out. Man, yes, I agree, but he was so much weaker than Derek Brunson. Jack Hermanson is by no means a beast of a wrestler. He's a really good grappler. His jiu-jitsu's excellent. His wrestling game is nowhere near Derek Brunson. He doesn't have the explosive knockout power to threaten Shabazian on the feet at all. I think Shabazian destroys him with striking, technically superior. I think Shabazian is the pick in this matchup. I was flip-flopped on this one when it was supposed to be on that UFC 262 card. But the more you dig into it, stylistically, I think this actually really favors Shabazian. And I feel like maybe Jack Hermanson is a bit of a stepping stone in this matchup. I think Shabazian by a knockout, that would be a stretch bet if you're betting the KO. I do think that's a potential stretch that we could play. But as a dog, I like Edmund Shabazian at that plus 130-ish money. I think he's worth a decent bet. But I'm not saying 1,000% confident. It wasn't on the locks. But it is a high confidence dog pick. So if you're looking for an underdog, you want to play an underdog, I got to go with Edmund Shabazian to get the W by knockout in this matchup over Jack Hermanson. Don't bet the house on it here if you don't have the house to lose. But I do believe Edmund Shabazian knockout victory. He's going to come through for us. Let's check out what the prop is worth on that one, because I do think that's a fairly decent one. Shabazian by a KO plus 265. Do I see him winning a decision? Not really. I think Hermanson more so by a decision if he's looking to chain wrestle the hell out of him and look for submissions and he can't get them. I was not that disappointed by Shabazian's performance against Derek Brunson. Like, if you go back and rewatch that fight, he had really good moments, and Derek Brunson is a monster with his wrestling, and Shabazian is developing. He's 23 years of age. I think he's improved a good amount since then. How long ago was that? 9 months? 9 months makes a difference. He took the right amount of time off. He comes out here and knocks out Jack Hermanson. That is one of the dog pickups. I cannot wait to see Shabazian back in action. He's a guy I was high on. I thought he would knock out Brunson. Unfortunately, that was a big incorrect pick, but I do still think the kid has a good skill set and is somebody to keep an eye on. The next dog of the week, and it's not necessarily, I don't think, even a dog anymore. It was a dog when I had the notes written down, but is our boy Yancy Medeiros a dog? At minus 105, he's technically still a dog. You can get him at some plus money, so it counts. He is a dog. Yancy Medeiros. He's going out there and fighting a guy in Damir Hadzovic who I'm really not super impressed by. You look at Hadzovic, okay with the striking, but definitely not great inside boxing range. He tends to get beat up. He tends to get cracked. Granted, 2-fight losing streak, 3-fight losing streak. I'm not necessarily suggesting throw the house on this one, but maybe you play a little bit of money on a Yancy Medeiros upset. He does have pretty good boxing with the hands. His grappling is by no means terrible. Trains with the Diaz team sometimes, granted not full-time anymore. 2 guys on losing streak. The loser kind of leaves town type of thing here with this matchup. If Yancy loses, that'll be 4 in a row. He's always entertaining. He's got a good chin. I think having a chin definitely is going to carry him in this fight, and I do think he'll beat Damir, who I just haven't been super impressed with. He's a Thai-style striker, but he's super hittable in the boxing range. Some of those Thai guys, they're very square and stiff. And when you don't have good head movement and you're not slightly at an angle, so much more susceptible to straight punches. And that's what Yancy kind of does best. Yancy Medeiros win here. Unanimous decision. I think he's a decent dog pickup. Should be an exciting matchup too. Let's get to the next dog of the week. Slide it down. We got this written all right here. The next dog pickup, but I'm going to totally quote this as the lowest of confidence dog pickups. I would say this might even be like a 51% confidence dog pickup. This is not one that I'm saying even throw down on. If you're a riskier player, you want to really try to cash with some dogs and you want to just throw them at the dogs, sure. Ricardo Ramos as a dog is a decent pickup against Bilal Gio here. 14-5, 14-3. I've been really impressed by Ramos, but I just worry about the mentality. So am I going to tell you guys to play your money on Ramos? I'm actually going to advise you probably not to, but he's still a dog that I'm picking this week, and there are some potential values on him winning by submission as a prop bet. Let's quickly look what that's sitting at. Ramos by a submission. Where's it at? Where's it at? Plus 425. The guy's very good with his submissions. We've seen how Gio submitted before, granted, not as of recent, and he did go the distance with Ricardo Lamas. But I feel like Ricardo Ramos still has the potential like a young Charles Oliveira. That's what I see out of him. Maybe I'm delusional for seeing that, but I think his skill set is actually really good. He had decent moments in his loss to Lerone Murphy. He breaks. That's my fear. And betting on a guy who breaks is not necessarily a great idea. I think Algio's pretty decent. I thought Algio would beat Spike Carlisle. He absolutely did. I got to go with Ricardo Ramos to win this fight over Algio. I think submission. I think it's maybe worth a sprinkle prop of that submission. As a dog, is Ramos the most confident? Absolutely not. He's like the least confident of the dog pickups. But at plus 100, maybe you want to take a risk and you bet Ramos. There's definitely better options, and we will be talking about these better options. Just had to get through that dog portion of the week. And guys, let me know if you want me to change the way I order these type of betting videos. Just let me know, because it's all learn as we go type thing, since this is a brand new series for us. But I really do like doing these series. And now we're going to go specifically more so over to the betting side. The pure betting mentality here. There's a lot of numbers. There's a lot of plus money, a lot of minus money, a lot of opportunity here. And we're going to talk about what I consider to be the prop locks of the week. And there's some good prop locks. I'm telling you guys, some of these props are damn sure locks. And I think we have 3 money props. The first one, Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt. Even though I picked Garbrandt, am I personally going to be playing him for more than just the sprinkle on a knockout prop? No, because I'm not going to take the risk on the Garbrandt chin. I think that he has the tools to win, and if he fights at his absolute best, he should knock out Rob Font. But how many times have we seen Cody Garbrandt let us down? multiple now. What is it? 3 losses in a row he had by knockout, and then he wins against the Sun Sao. I like the fight does not go the distance, minus 260. Now you're like, man, that's minus 260, not a ton of money to be made. Well, it is a lock, and we're talking about making good money over long periods of times. Betting something like this, I think, is a lot safer. Minus 260 price tag, throw some cash down at this fight does not go the distance. Extremely unlikely it goes the distance. Garbrandt, not a decision fighter. Even you look at his fight that he went the distance back with Dominic Cruz. He dropped Cruz multiple times. Cruz is just an absolute savage for continuing on and recovering from that. The next one, which I think is another lock for fight goes the distance. We're going to talk about it. David Dvorak versus Raulian Paiva. There's also some money to be made straight up on our pick Dvorak too, because I do think he's another one that could maybe be a lock, but I do have to respect Paiva's skill set, and they kind of do have similar-ish styles, not necessarily the same, but similar-ish tendencies. I like fight goes the decision here. At minus 175, that's a steal. I think it's highly likely we see both these guys go the distance. They've been decision fighters for their time in the UFC, both good on the feet, both rangy strikers, both technical and patient. I see 3 rounds out of these two, and if you don't want to bet the winner, minus 175 can definitely deliver for you on fight goes the distance. I like that one a lot at minus 175. I'm telling you guys, we got some crazy parlays we're going to be playing. We got some really fun ones coming up. Let me quickly get to, is there one more prop lock? Yes, there is. There is one more prop lock. I knew we were almost going to miss one. We can't miss this one. This is the #1 contender fight for the women's strawweight division. Yan Exenan versus Carla Esparza. Fight goes the distance, minus 325, minus 335. Yes, the value of it is definitely by no means great, but I still believe these are true prop locks. Knockout in the main event is almost guaranteed. I see these fights going the distance. Esparza versus Yan, decision fight. The Dvorak Paiva fight, decision fight. If you want to parlay up all 3 of them, let me see what that value is at. This is not the parlay section just yet. We do have a section specifically dedicated to the parlays, but we do have to find out what this value is here, because I think that this should be a lock. And let's get to our boy Dvorak and Paiva at fight goes the decision. Plus 177 if you're playing all 3. If you play that smart, you can really cash well on that with the plus 177. I do think it delivers. It's one of those solid parlays. If you don't want to risk playing, multiple fight goes the distance parlays, and maybe throw in some of the lock of the week predictions into that parlay. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's get to, I believe, the next segment already, while I'll also check up on this live chat as well. Let's do a $10 to $100 challenge. I'll try to do that. I would try to do that. Ramos, you got him. Yeah, dude, Ramos, he's got all the tools, but does he deliver? That's yet to be seen. We'll find out. The odds on parlays definitely bringing you solid plus money. Solid plus money. Solid plus money, man. And do I have Joshua Kulabayao early in the night? Yeah, I do have Kulabayao winning that fight earlier on in the night. But now I want to talk about some potential. I'm going to call this the prop possible plays section of the video. I want to talk about odds of things happening that are probably likely, but I can't call them absolute locks. They're prop possible plays. All right, so the one that I do like is David Dvorak. Prop him up for a Dvorak decision win. Where's that sitting at? That's got to be sitting at some decent money at the least. Plus 160 you can find it at. I like Dvorak by decision. I believe he will win a decision here against Paiva. At plus 160, that's amazing money for a decision fighter. Get that now, because I think a lot of people are going to notice that later on in the week and be like, why am I not trying to put some money down on David Dvorak by decision? This guy's a decisionator, and I think he gets the decision here over Paiva. That's another one that I think is really good. The other one that I do think has some value too is Yancy Medeiros and Damir Hadzovic. Fight goes the distance at minus 130. That's nearly a steal. Both guys have been finished before, but I do feel like against one another, we're probably looking at 3 rounds. Unless Hadzovic somehow improves his game tenfold since the last fight, I don't believe he will. I think he's maybe on a steady decline, maybe as is Yancy. I think we're looking at 3 rounds of competitive striking action with a fair amount of clinching against the cage. I'm going Yancy to win the fight, but I don't necessarily love the bet on Yancy for the prop. I mean, maybe you can prop him up. What's it sitting at for Medeiros by a decision? I don't love it. I really don't love it. At plus 225, it would be higher risk because he could land a big punch. He does tend to win some decisions, but I lean you towards fight goes the distance if you're looking for more of the safe plays. We'll talk about more of the risky props here momentarily, but right now I want to get through some of these safe ones. Another one that I think is a fairly safe, but this is the props that should deliver, should be safe, but I wouldn't call them absolute locks. This Claudio Silva, Court McGee fight goes the distance at -155. I see this fight probably going the distance. Have we seen Court McGee submitted in a long time? No, he went the distance with Sean Brady, who's a fucking savage. Claudio Silva looks old and shot, to be honest. My only fear would be Court McGee actually shows up somehow and knocks him the fuck out, but I think a lot less likely we see that. Court McGee, I don't think he's won a fight by finish in a fair amount of time. Let's quickly check up on our boy Court. It's been a long time. This guy's no means a finisher. Has he ever won a fight by finish? Oh, I beat Robert Whittaker. How crazy is that? His last finish was in 2010. I'm not betting he wins by finish. He's winning a decision here, but I like the fight goes the distance. Where's Claudio's last finish? All right, so he is technically a good submission guy. He's got some nasty submissions, but at the end of the day, I don't necessarily think that you're going to run over Court McGee. As old as Court McGee has kind of looked, he's still fairly competitive in all the fights he's in, and the man's got a ton of heart. Claudio Silva looked terrible in his fight against James Krause. His record is 14-2. He's 38. He's on the decline. Court McGee should beat him. I would only be really fearful here if Court McGee actually knocks his ass out. I like the bet on Court McGee as well. I think that's a decent close money play, and on some sites you will find him a dog, but it seems like on a good amount, it's about pick'ems. I like Court McGee to win. I like fight goes the distance. I think that it's a possible play, possible lock, but not an absolute supreme confidence one here, but one that I will consider playing myself. Now, another one that I think should actually really deliver for us, but I do fear the wrestling of Carla Esparza. Don't think I'm forgetting about it. I just feel like the jab and movement of Jan is going to be a serious issue for her, especially Esparza at just 5'1". Jan Exanon by decision, +162. You can find it at +145. If you're getting that at +140 or better, I think it's worth playing that right there because Jan should win the fight, and if she does win the fight, it's going to be by decision. I'd be shocked to see it go any other method. Esparza, proven durable, proven tricky with the wrestling. On the other side, you have Jan Exanon, a proven decision fighter. Not really saying that she's not entertaining. She's a good striker and mixes it up really well from kickboxing range. Her jab is excellent, but I think decision is the pick here. I'm going Jan decision, another one at +145. There's some value. Guys, we have a lot of intriguing plays this week and some opportunities to make some cash. But now is the time, the final of all the props. We're going to be getting into the parlays very soon, but we got to talk some props. These are what I'm going to call the prop Hail Mary section. This is going to be where we're going for the highest reward and not necessarily thinking about the risk on the other end. We'll first talk about our dog of the week in Edmen Shahbazyan. If you're taking a risk, guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be more risky, but at +265, he's an absolute finisher. I think he's superior to Jack Hermanson by a fair amount on the feet. I like a +265 prop bet by knockout on Edmen Shahbazyan. Do I say bet the house on it? No. Sprinkle that play, and you could actually hit fairly well here. $20 can make you a fair amount back at the +265. Let me get a sip of this real quick. And let's get to the next one. So +265-ish, depending on where you're buying, where you're playing. Another one is probably going to get hella disagreements because I know a lot of you are not sold on Cody No Love again. But I think Cody No Love by a KO is another Hail Mary style prop at +200. You throw a little something down. I think Cody Garbrandt, if he does win, it's by knockout. Sure, he does have moments where he's really hittable and he can be knocked out. And we've seen him knocked out before. But I think he beats Rob Font at +200. I'd consider playing it. I'd sprinkle it. Would I bet $500 on it? I mean, if you got the $500 to play with and you are not fearful of losing that 500, hey, more power to you. Me personally, no. I'd play it more intelligently and with a lot less down on it. But at +200, it's another one that I really do think can deliver for us. I think it's one that could come home with an absolute knockout. That might really bring us home well because I feel like Cody No Love is going to surprise a lot of people. Oh, another play. This one, honestly, is probably more the high confidence as far as the props. I'm going to consider this in the Hail Marys, but of all the Hail Marys, this is probably my higher confidence one. Bruno Silva wins this fight inside of the distance at +255. I'd play it. Guys, +255 is a steal. Get that while it lasts because Bruno Silva is a savage, and he should be sitting at probably a maybe 140 for winning by a knockout or finish in general here. I'm surprised that they're this widespread. I'm looking at the wrong one. That's why. My bad, guys. I got us so excited. Look at that. Plus 110. I knew that was bullshit. I said, no way. They're sitting at plus 255. Just throw the house on it. Unfortunately, now, plus 110, it's going to be more of our safe one. I can't even really call that a Hail Mary. For Silva by knockout, it's plus 185. For Silva by a submission, it's plus 490. I think more likely we see a knockout. Inside the distance just keeps you safe in case he has an overall amazing performance and shuts him down everywhere and maybe gets the rear naked choke. I like the inside the distance one, but it's not really a Hail Mary, more of a safer play prop at this point. If you want to bet the knockout, plus 185. If you really want to go far, plus 490 for the submission by Silva would be a decent pickup. But let's get to the next one. I think we still got a couple more. We're going to talk about Felicia Spencer. We haven't talked about her at all just yet. And she's a former title challenger. She's fighting Norma Dumont, who's okay, not great. Felicia Spencer is going to get this fight to the floor, and she is going to dominate. At plus 900 by a knockout, there's definitely some value there, but I feel like she'll sink one under the chin. Her jiu-jitsu is very good. Plus 300 by submission, not a bad one either. I could see this fight going the distance, but I feel like Spencer's going to go out there looking for a finish, and I do believe she's going to get one. If you want to stay safe, Spencer inside the distance is plus 240, plus 200 range, depending where you're playing. I would say that's the safest of the Hail Mary plays on Spencer at plus 240, but if you want to cash, play that Spencer by decision at plus 300, or maybe you play her by TKO at plus 900. Personally, though, I like safety first method. I'm going to go Spencer wins inside the distance at plus 240. I feel like of all the Hail Marys is another one that I have some fair confidence in, but still I'll lean you towards Bruno Silva more than that. But granted, you look at Bruno Silva's odds, it kind of makes sense why I'd lean him more. They're just plus 110, not a ton of plus money. But let's talk about just one more of these props before we get into the parlays of the night. We got a ton of parlays to talk about, detailed parlays, some exciting parlays, and some cash to be made. Justin Tafa, Jared Vanderaa, we talked about it when you guys watched the full card predictions. We're going to see Tafa sleep Jared Vanderaa, in my opinion. I think that's what's going to happen in the first round. Tafa by a knockout at plus 100, though, that's kind of shit money. I'm actually really disappointed to see plus 100, but it makes sense, though. A lot of people are going to be playing it. Tafa's a proven finisher with power in his hands. Do I say bet Tafa in the first round? No, don't even play that one. Tafa, if you're looking to really take a high risk, high reward, Tafa by knockout at plus 185 is still trash. I'm going to be honest, I'm not even liking the Tafa prop by knockout at this point after seeing these odds. Maybe just bet them straight or add them to the parlay. But if you like them by knockout, plus 100. That's a decent one. I guess these are Hail Marys, but at this point they just turn into softballs because there's definitely not a ton of Hail Marys out there. A couple of them got a lot of money to be made, but some of them really not hitting with that serious amount of cash. But now you guys know what time it is. The best time, the parlay time, because that's where the real cash is made. I will quickly check up on this live chat to see what's popping, what you guys are talking about here. My biggest win on MMA bet, I think it was a Charles Rosa win for was it 3,000? 3,000. It was like 500 down for 3,000. I forget. I got to go check the stamp. It was on betonline.ag when it was Rosa Aguilar, and I saw Rosa as the dog. So I bet him as the dog, and I bet him by a proper decision. And it was like 3-4 grand. Granted, I try to play fairly intelligently with my plays. I'm trying to build up right now to a portfolio of 10,000 or more, like consistently, making per 3-month quarter. We're working towards it. It's delivering, but of course, there's always going to be occasional bumps on the road. But we are getting a bit better as we go, and we're just going to keep playing and keep making that cash, guys. We're coming back at it. Plus 2,100. That's sick, dude. That's a money play, DG9. Aldana's going to make her comeback. Yeah, she'll be back. You like Spencer here to get the finish? Yeah, I like her for the finish too. I feel like Norma Dumont's being a bit overrated. She's not a jiu-jitsu black belt either, so I think on the ground she's going to get destroyed. But let's talk about the parlays, because you guys know I'm big into parlays. This one definitely going to be more detailed than any other of my parlay plays you have ever seen before. We have 3 sections. I'm going to go in order. First is safer parlays, then moderate confidence parlays, then the risky plays. It's called the Let's Get Rich section. But the safer parlays are what we're going to start with because we are intelligent and we like to play things intelligently. Let's play it safe. Let's get a little cash. Let's play with some dinero, but let's not go crazy. This is the type of play I'll put $1,000 down if I'm going to be betting. Bruno Silva, Damir Ismagulov. Honestly, at minus 187, that's not bad I'll shit my pants if Bruno Silva somehow shits the bed and gets knocked out. He really should not. He should win this fight. Minus 187, guys. I know you see minus money and you think, hey, that's not a lot. Well, if you're throwing a ton of money at it, you're going to make a good amount back. At minus 187, Demiris Ismagulov and Bruno Silva, to me, is a lock. Staple that one as a lock. But at the end of the day, lock in MMA is bullshit. There's no such thing as a lock because you can get hit with one punch and get knocked out. A choke could slip under. It is what it is. As lock as you can get in MMA, this is an absolute confidence pickup. Ismagulov, Bruno Silva at minus 187. Love this play. I really do love this play right here, guys. Let's get to the next one, though, on this safer parlays. Okay, Font, Garbrandt, fight does not go the distance. I love this one. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm in love with this play right here. Plus 112. At plus 112, guys, I'm telling you, we're beating the bookies right here. Demiris Ismagulov at minus 550, lock. Bruno Silva, lock. Fight doesn't go the distance, lock. I don't care what you think about the main event. You'll probably agree with me. You don't see the fight goes the distance. Plus 112? Plus 112, guys. Write this one down because I'm playing it myself. I'm very excited to play it. I'll try to put some things in the description after we get off live, and I'll put the timestamps and whatnot, and I'll throw some of the potential parlays out there. We went deep this week, guys. This is a new series, and it's just going to get better and better the more we do it, and I'm really happy that I started it up. But this right here is one of the safer plays of the week. Plus 112. Fight doesn't go the distance for the Garbrandt Font fight. Put Ismagulov down and Bruno Silva at minus 335. Guys, there is some dinero to be made here with this sneaky little play. And now I'm going to throw one more at you. This is the safer section, so we're not going to be making crazy returns unless we're throwing down big cash. But this one is worth it, and this one's going to deliver too. Carla Esparza, Jan Exenan. Fight goes the distance. Plus 176. It's women's MMA. Crazy shit does happen. But two decisionators, I don't see a knockout. I think it would be so unlikely that I see a knockout. Plus 176. These are the safer plays. I believe these will cash. If our safer plays somehow get destroyed by one of these guys, I'll be heartbroken here. But I really don't believe so. If every fighter fights to at least 3/4 of their potential, we're going to see some big returns here. Plus 176. Guys, write this one down. I'm going to put it in the description too. I'm fucking pumped to play this. Plus 176. Ismagulov, Bruno Silva. Fight does not go to decision, and fight goes to decision. The does not is the Font fight in Garbrandt, and then the Esparza versus Jan fight. Fight does not go to, or excuse me, fight does go to the decision. Minus 335 for that one. Minus 260 for the Garbrandt Font one. Minus 335. Minus 550. All strong confidence plays, but at plus 176, you're going to cash, guys. This right here is a money play. I am super pumped to be playing it. I think that is it for the safer plays. That is it for the safer plays. Plus 176 is the best we can get for the safer plays. Nothing safe in MMA, but this is relatively safer. We're going to go down to the moderate confidence plays in just a moment. Make sure you guys smash that like button too if you haven't yet. As I said, goal on this video, 100 likes. You're new to the channel, subscribe. I'll quickly check up on that live chat as well. What site do I bet on? I like using a couple. I like MyBookie if I'm feeling lazy as fuck. BetOnline.ag is really good. And I also am starting to get into Unibet because I feel like they have the best of the live betting. Plus 110 is Ismagulov, Kulabau, and Bruno Silva. Thomas Howard, I like that one too. My only fear is somehow Kulabau getting caught standing. But I agree. I like that one as well. It's another one I'd play. That's another one I play. So that's one that maybe we can add. We're going to add that right now. Because honestly, I thought about it. And now seeing you guys throwing it at me, I think that I'm going to actually add that one as well. I think it's worth talking about. Let me see what the plus money is here if you happen to use Bet Online, which I'll be using. All right, so we have Ismagulov to start it off in the night. And then we have Kulabau at minus 255. That's money, guys. That's money. And Bruno Silva, our boy Bruno Silva, plus 113. And I guess if you wanted to add in everything, I guess this will be the riskiest of the safest plays. We'll play it right now. We'll see what this is sitting at, plus 195. Wow, we've got some good money coming through for us for this one here. Shout out Thomas Howard for throwing this out there in the chat. Good man, Thomas, always tuning in. One of the OGs of the channel at this point. Plus 283 for this 5-way parlay. Higher risk? Yeah, sure, because you're playing 5 of them. But I think another one that can absolutely cash. Plus 283. Consider playing it. We're going to call this the most, or the least safe of the safe plays. But still, we're going to say it's a safe one because I do think it's pretty damn safe at plus 283. But let's get to the next one. Let's get to the next section, the moderate confidence parlays. Might not be as confident, but still, There's some money. There's some real money to be made. Now, Ben Rothwell's a heavyweight, so I kind of have to throw that moderate confidence at him, even if he should destroy Chris Barnett. I have to just throw moderate confidence at him. Like I can't put a strong confidence play on Rothwell all that much. I think it would just be hard to sell because heavyweight is so weird. Crazy stuff happens at heavyweight all the time. And if he got caught by a big punch, we'd all be shitting ourselves. Ben Rothwell, Damir Ismagulov, and Bruno Silva at plus 103. If you're looking to play fighters and you're not necessarily looking to do the fight goes the distance or not type of thing, at plus 103, this really should deliver for you. I don't see necessarily why it wouldn't unless I feel like Rothwell's our only suspect. But man, Chris Barnett is just not that good. This should be a dominant performance by Ben Rothwell unless he's completely shot. Now, another one for you guys that probably are going to be like, hell no, I'm not playing with Big Ben. Maybe you add Jan Exenan at plus 176. That's a solid play. I like that one too at plus 176. Jan is definitely a better fighter as far as technique goes than Ben Rothwell at this point, but Carlos Esparza is definitely a harder matchup than Chris Barnett. So that's why I feel a little bit torn on this one. But Rothwell and Jan, you're going to get more bang for your buck with Jan if she wins, but there's definitely a chance that the wrestling could fuck her and give her that defeat. Let's get to the next one, though, because we have a good amount more here that I feel like are worth adding in. Let's add in our fight doesn't go the distance, and let's add in Rothwell. This is another one that I think has some high possibility of cashing with that moderate confidence tag. At plus 181, though, we're seeing better options sometimes than those safer plays, but I got to dive into the more riskier ones. I don't want to be giving you guys these boring pickups, these ones that aren't really going to cash big money. If you don't want to bet the Jan Exenan fight, you're like, hell no, I don't want to take a risk there, but I think fight definitely goes to the decision. Boom, right there. Ben Rothwell over Barnett. Fight does not go the distance for the main event. Fight goes the distance for the Jan Exenan fight. The Damir Ismagulov pick was a money pick, and Bruno Silva as well at plus 265. Let me check out who else I have written down here because I got some ones that I think we can deliver big on. Okay, so I'm gonna have to add in this right here. David Dvorak at minus 145, plus 517. Of all the moderate confidence plays, you should be pretty confident in this one because I really believe all these guys will deliver. If you're like, hell no, I'm not playing Ben Rothwell, it's plus 366. But I'm going to play him. Plus 517, Damir Ismagulov, Bruno Silva. Fight doesn't go the distance for the main event. For the co-main event, the Jan Exenan and Carlos Esparza fight. Fight does go the decision, minus 335. Dvorak, minus 145. And Rothwell, minus 310. Some good plays, guys. Some solid plays at the plus 500 money. If you're seeing plus 500 money, though, of course, there's more risk. But as I said, some moderate confidence out here in this one. I really do think it should deliver for us. I think high likelihood of that achievement of it hitting. Let's clear it, and let's get to the fun time. This is the fun time. That's business. That's the plays that can make you some cash. This is to make a serious amount of dinero back at you. I want nothing less on this get rich risky parlay section to be less than plus 400. I think plus 500 really should be the minimum though. So to deliver, we are going to put staples down, and it's going to be Damir Ismagulov. It's going to be Cody Garbrandt. Fight does not go the distance. It's going to be Carlos Esparza versus Jan Exenan. Fight does go the distance. So plus 112 we're sitting here at, but that's not much. That's not a ton of money coming at you. That's not going to bring you a ton of happiness and success with that money. But if you add in our boy Big Ben, who should knock out Chris Barnett. Ben Rothwell should not lose this fight. Like, if he's any good anymore, he should not lose this fight. All right, so plus 375. That's not necessarily what I wanted. I did expect it to be a bit more, but the odds, they've spread out later on in the week as we go. I have it written down here, another one that I feel like is worth adding in. Yeah, that's it. This is what we're missing. We're missing our boy Bruno Silva to bring you to plus 517. Guys, at plus 517 money, I'm not saying lock, but of the Hail Marys, this is going to be one that could really hit. But of course, it's a Hail Mary. It's a riskier play. It's going to be something that could definitely deliver, but could come back and really shit on us right in our face. If you're feeling me for the dog of the week pickup, if you're not worried about Edmund Shabazian's ground game, now you're looking at plus 1349. If we cash on this one, we're going to be setting it home big. Of course, Edmund Shabazian in a tricky fight. but I feel like it could really deliver. But at the end of the day, this is the Hail Marys. Kill or be killed for this section, plus 1349. Let's get to the next one. What else are we going to add in here to add in some serious cash? We got Silva, Kulabau, Rothwell, Dvorak. Do I have Dvorak on this one already? Yeah, I think I do. I think I'm going to... Do I take the risk? Do you add Jan Xenon for the plus 2,508? It's Hail Mary section, guys. This is our crazy-ass parlays. Your bookies might not even allow you to play. How many do we got right now? 8? 8-fight parlay? You might be allowed to play it. You might not. It's definitely going to give you some risk. It could bite you in the ass for sure, but I do think it could also really deliver for you and cash you out nicely. And I'm going to also add in Felicia Spencer for plus 4,138. Guys, this one is a super high-risk bet. You're betting women's MMA twice, which could absolutely come back to bite you in the ass. But on one side of it, it could actually come and deliver you some serious damn cash here. I feel like it's one worth the play, but if you're not feeling women's MMA, I'm going to do a special one just for you guys. This is going to be the final of the parlays, and then I'll be chatting it up with you guys in that live chat. Who else do I want to take out? I want to take out Felicia. Bye-bye, Felicia. Let's add in David Dvorak and Raulian Paiva going the distance. I think this is the lock of our riskier ones. Not really a lock, but you know what I'm saying. Plus 2,132. Some big names on there, some riskier plays. Fight goes the distance. Honestly, if we took Dvorak off and just added Dvorak by decision, let's see how the value is for that. Plus 2,087. Just do Dvorak decision. Plus 2,087. If we got two dogs on there, man, take off Shabazian at this point. Let's see what we can get without our boy Shabazian, so we don't have to shit our pants if he ends up getting put on our back. Plus 831. So it's a little bit less. So this one right here is the Hail Mary that could actually give you that big home run. I think it's going to hit. I think at plus 831, it's fair confidence, and I think it's going to really deliver for you. But if you add in Shabazian, you're dropping, the possibilities down a bit, because Shabazian's a dog for a reason, and he's fighting the scariest test he's had. I mean, outside of Derek Brunson, I guess. Plus 2,087. Guys, there's some money to be made on this card. There's some fun plays. I'm super excited for a lot of the matchups. Honestly, this UFC Vegas 27 card has me pumped. I'm telling you, earlier on in the week, I was not nearly as hyped as I am right now. Let me check up on that live chat and see what's being talked about. Shabazian's going to smoke him. I hope so. I think so. I see it. Are parlays riskier than props? Not necessarily. It really is going to depend on which parlays you're playing. If you're going to that safer section we talked about, you should be fairly good to go. If you go into the more moderate risk section, of course, it's moderate risk. And if you go into that high risk section at the end of the day, that's for us crazies out there who are trying to hit some lotto picks. And at the end of the day, it does happen. Guys, this is the newest series on the channel. It is the UFC Best Bets. It's a full card breakdown and our betting picks. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. Whether you're watching live or on replay, doesn't matter. Let me know in the comments. Do you love this series? Do you hate this series? Are you a fan? Do you want to see more of this? Do you want to see this for Bellator? Because I was actually planning on doing it for Bellator tomorrow, but unfortunately, man, these betting odds for Bellator have not been released. I don't know what's going on with best fight odds. Thomas Howard says something. Don't bet women's MMA. Thomas Howard, he's one of the OG subscribers. He says don't bet women's MMA. We kind of feel the same way because women's MMA has shat on us more than anything. In fights that you're like, no, that's definitely going to go this way, it goes completely the other way. But that's just a fight game, but that's just a women's MMA game as well. It's double the risk of your normal MMA fights. But I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. We got some fun plays. Over, under, props, sides, just stay away. That's funny, man. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's true stuff. Martial arts fan, I appreciate you, man. I hope you guys all enjoyed this live stream. I'll be back at it live streaming tomorrow. You guys know how it goes. I'm hoping for Bellator's betting odds to be released because I want to do this same style of video for Bellator because, guys, I was looking at that Bellator card. There's a lot of money to be made on that Bellator card. AJ, who are you rooting for? Not who you're going to think is going to win. Who do I want to win? I mean, I want Cody No Love to win because I'm a Cody No Love fan, but I also think Cody No Love is going to win. Like, I'm not just playing him off emotions. Last week, our boy T. Fur got destroyed, and that was disappointing, man, but that's the fight game. I want Cody in the main. I would love to see Cody get the W. I would love to see Cody work towards fighting some top competition, but at the end of the day, Rob Font is a tricky fight, and that's why I really like that fight does not go the distance bet a lot more than betting that fight straight up. But I really hope you guys enjoyed. Smash the like button. 100 likes on this video. That is a goal. Appreciate all of you for watching live. If you're catching this on replay, love you guys just as much. Thank you all for tuning in. 100 likes, guys. We're going to deliver. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We cover all things MMA. This is the newest series to the channel. It is the best bets. Also going to be trying to do the Bellator best bets video tomorrow. And if Bellator comes out with their odds, I want to do this week's best MMA bets really bad. Like, I really want to do that video. If you guys did tune in, it was about 2 weeks ago that we did it for the PFL, Bellator, and for the UFC. That was crazy. That was honestly a lot of fun, though. I just want to do some cross plays, see what type of parlays we can get, matching up guys from different organizations. There's a good amount of money to be made doing that. I feel like we are going to cash, guys. Thank everybody for tuning in. You guys are all fantastic. Love you guys. Smash that like button. Goal is 100 likes on this video. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Shout out to everybody watching on replay. I will see you guys all in the next video.